What's going on, everybody? As most of you already know, I'm David Payne Jr., the owner of Everything Credit LLC. And today is going to be part two of our interview with Edward Fay, which is a former client of Pinnacle Credit. Um, and I just wanted to go over, actually, before we get started, you are okay with me posting these screenshots on my channel. You give me full permission. You're okay with that, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, great. And also, I'm going to put the screenshots up here so y'all can see them. So, Andre likes to say that I'm a racist person. Anybody that knows me knows I'm not. Uh, I literally live in the hood, and that's not a joke. I could go outside right now, and you're not going to see anybody that looks like me. So, I love everybody, but obviously, we figured out that pretty much anything Andre says about me, it's literally him in a, just it's him 100% to a T. So, I guess this text message is him getting some Trustpilot reviews deleted, which he's bragged about that on YouTube several times. But it says one by one MFer. And then he says, taking each one of these effing N words, speaking about people of color, and then laughing about it. And then, and correct me if I'm wrong, he's talking to you. He asked, "Do you think I could pay you $5,000 for you to take a weekend off? Actually, you just need a day and go down to bum F Egypt and pistol whip that MFer in the effing head and F his wife in front of his family. I'll book you a Spirit airline." So I guess my question to you is, what are your thoughts on him texting you this? And was this you that he was offering the $5,000 to?
So yes, that was me that he was offering the $5,000 to. I didn't have any positive thoughts surrounding it. One, he's asking me to commit illegal activity, let alone, on an international level, which is completely unacceptable. In the screenshot, you'll see that I said those days are past me. I've never done that kind of thing in my, entire life. I was very uncomfortable with the question, so that was the best answer I can come up with at the moment. It's frankly disgusting, unprofessional, and no way to speak about anyone.
Right, right. No, I agree 100%. And then the next screenshot that I'm going to put up here looks like some audio messages between you and Andre, but he's in the actual messages. It says "ha effing cunt n word," and then he says some other stuff, and he talks and he says psychopaths. He's always saying people are psychotic and or narcissist. Uh, and then he talks about Section 8 makes you rich. And it's I find it funny that he brings up Section 8 because somebody reached out to him whenever he made this whatever he had going on with me, and he basically told him, or the guy told Andre, that he lived in Section 8 in a video, a rap video. The guy does rap videos, and Andre actually posted a short clip showing it. And at the top of his short clip was a search bar for Google, and it said, "What is Section 8 living?" So he didn't even know what Section 8 living was. Section 8 living is all around me. Am I ashamed or embarrassed? No. I mean, the guy thinks I live in a double wide, and I literally live in a house. If I did live in a double wide, it would not bother me one bit. I know people that are millionaires that live in double wides. Who cares? It's a roof over your head, somewhere to sleep at night, somewhere to eat, somewhere to raise a family, right? All right. So, oh, and then here's the last one. So anytime a client reaches out to him, and you can attest to this because you was a client, if you question anything he's doing, even if it's just something as simple as how's things going, he blows the heck up. Like he does not like to be questioned at all. So I'm going to read from the screenshot here. And this is all the guy asked. Hey, Andre, it's been a month now and you're not returning calls or emails. What's going on with my credit? Please respond or I will take this to my lawyer and escalate this to a fraud claim. I mean, he's concerned. He's paid Andre probably thousands of dollars. He deserves to know something. I'll be the first to say I'm extremely hard to get on the phone. But if you're texting and emailing me, you're going to get a response within 24, 48 hours max. I'm never going to ignore anybody. But his response to that was, stop harassing me, N word. I will work on your file if and when I feel like it. Remember, you effed your file up, not me. If you keep calling me, I'll do nothing with your file. I don't work for broke losers. And he loves to end it with the little smiley face because I guess we're all 12 years old and we're going to get all bent out of shape out of that. But the guy then says, you leave me no choice. I'm reporting you to the FTC and we'll be letting people know about who you really are in every review site I can. Refund my $2,000 and I won't leave reviews. Do nothing and you will have to deal with me and my lawyer. Obviously, the guy just wanted his money back. Andre's never going to give anybody their money back. Anybody that's ever asked for it on review sites, most of the time his answer is, we have no record of you even being a client. And I actually noticed another lady that scams people. She says the same exact thing on Yelp when people question her. You're not a client of mine. There's no record of you being a client of mine. That's just a simple answer. Um, but whenever you read this stuff, you know, what the guy said and how he said, stop harassing me, N word. What was your thoughts? Because obviously when you first started talking to him, he was nice, everything was going well. And then at some point he blew up at you as well.
Yeah. And it comes down to being unacceptable. There is absolutely nothing wrong with asking a question because that's all these are from these clients. This sounds like a different individual because I paid Andre $600. I do want to be fair at the same time. So, and I believe in that, despite the wrongdoings he's done in everyone. That being said, it's the same cadence with everyone. There is absolutely nothing wrong with asking a question for an update, especially since Andre does not send progress reports at all. So it's a rightful question of someone to ask, and frankly, disgusting that he thinks that he's above everyone else. Very indicative of his narcissistic behavior, especially in other videos where he isolates the objection, if you will, of someone being a narcissist and then turns it back on them. So that way he
Right.
could prop himself up. There's no shortage of videos where he does that to make himself look like a superior figure. It's disgusting.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree 100%. This one's actually one of my favorites. So I'm gonna put a screenshot up here for y'all. You asked him how his bike ride was. He sends you some kind of video clip. I'm not sure what it is. He said it was good. My Adderall came in. Since it's illegal in Japan and punishable by death, I need to make sure it's shipped on a private jet so it doesn't have to go through customs. That and some dank weed tucked nicely in Cuban cigar leaf. And then he sent you a voice message and you said, I'll listen to it in a bit. And you said, I literally can't get approved anywhere. It's time to call it quits for a bit. I'm assuming you were giving up. If you've been with somebody for 6 months and you're not getting any results, and to be fair, it happens. It can happen. Absolutely. I mean, you can sign up with a company and never get any results. And, as long as that company can prove they were doing the work, they didn't scam you. It just didn't work. I mean, and that's just me being honest because you're at the mercy of the bureaus. You're at the mercy of the bureaus. When you hire that company, they're at the mercy of the bureaus. They're going to play games. They're going to stall. They want you to have bad credit so you can get, subprime lending, and that's it. If you're paying more interest, they're making more money selling that information to those subprime banks because that's how they make money is selling your bad credit report to those companies that are running your credit to try to get you approved for something. Um, but so my question, I guess, on this screenshot would be, what were your thoughts when he mentioned taking Adderall and that it was illegal and punishable by death, which it's not as far as I know. But anyway, what were your thoughts when he sent you that?
I was at first I was very confused and wondering why he's even mentioning that, especially because I did simply ask, "How was your bike ride?" I mean, that's he and I did have to a degree of friendship for a little bit, and there's it's a normal thing to ask. Volunteering some innocuous information like that, and then going into whatever the punishment is, which is false. I've looked that up. It seemed like he was bragging about being some head honcho, international, badass, if you will, which is certainly not the case. When it came to letting him know I couldn't get approved, it was simply, and the reason for that actually, aside from I was given up, was he was saying that if you're denied credit, it's an adverse action and violation, which I knew wasn't true. I've challenged credit. That's my own decisions have bought me there. There's nothing wrong with the bank denying me credit because of my previous bad decisions. They're looking out for their best interest. That's not a violation. Maybe I'm
Absolutely.
wrong. I don't think it's a violation to deny someone credit because I made bad decisions prior to. Like, that's ridiculous.
So here's where that misconception comes in. So there can be a violation there. So what you're to do is, if you're in the process of fixing your credit, and I hope the people watching this take notes of this, because this is something nobody else is going to tell you. When you're in the process of fixing your credit, if there is errors on that, whatever you're disputing, if it's incomplete and inaccurate, and you dispute it for being inaccurate and incomplete, they do absolutely nothing, and then you go run your credit to get something. If they don't fix it, that's the violation. And the reason it's a violation is because their job is to fix those errors and those inaccuracies, because they're only supposed to report stuff that is 100% accurate, but we all know nothing that they report is 100% accurate. So the burden of proof's on them, but you have proof that you tried to get it fixed, and the fact that they didn't fix it could potentially be what kept you from getting approved. Now you can actually sue them for not fixing it and for getting denied on that car loan or that house. But there's more to it than just, oh, it's a vibe. There's so many misconceptions in credit repair, and it's the same with consumer laws. If consumer laws, and they are powerful, if they were as powerful as all these gurus on YouTube and TikTok, or as Andre calls them, goros, which I think that was the little forearm thing in Mortal Kombat. But anyway, he's not very good at spelling. But uh, there's just, it would be as simple as sending in a dispute letter and saying that you have a right to privacy and there was no permissible purpose. If the laws worked 100%, consumer laws, to what everybody says on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, that's all you would have to send in to get everything wiped off of your credit report. But there's more that goes into it than just throwing that law out there. And if you're trying to sue, like the pre-litigation, we don't hardly put any laws in our letters anymore, because the lawyers want to see the factual reasonings of why those accounts are inaccurate and need to be deleted. Because again, if you dispute something, they don't fix that, even if it's just changing a late payment that was never late or fixing a date, it's going to change the way your credit report looks when somebody pulls it. And that alone could cause you to get denied. Um, but anyway, I went kind of deep into the credit repair side of that. But, and I'm sure if he sees this, he's going to say, "Oh, that's a lie. That's a lie." Well, y'all can believe what y'all want to. I promise you. And this ain't just coming from David. I know lots of people with way more experience in credit repair with me than I have, and they work for me. So I trust them all. But I got two more screenshots, and then we'll be done. And anything you want to add at the end, you can. So this screenshot here says, "Just popped a Ritalin and all my subs. Shit's gonna be lit. You're on the top 5 list of files today." And he actually shows a picture of his cabinet, which if you don't think that's a picture of his cabinet, just go back to his YouTube videos. He shows that cabinet with his vitamins all the time. And then a picture inside of his refrigerator with some other vitamins. I have nothing against vitamins. You should take your vitamins. You should stay healthy. But Ritalin and what was that other one? Adderall. That's not something that everybody's just supposed to take. There's prescriptions for certain people to take those medicines. But when you seen that he was sharing that type of stuff with you in those pictures, what was going through your mind? Because me, I would just be like, what does this have to do with you fixing my credit? I hired you to fix my credit. Now I feel like I hired a drug dealer or something. What went through your mind when you seen all this?
Yeah, absolutely. So the first and foremost was obvious thought was, what is, you're right, what does this have to do with fixing my credit? Then as kind of I thought about it a little bit more, he makes all these videos about being a health, guru, if you will, and teaching health. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with supplements. You know, there's a big difference between supplementation and the amount of supplements he takes. I'm not a dietitian by any means. I'm not in the medical field. You get most, if you have a healthy diet and you're actually a healthy person that's health driven, I'd imagine you get most of your nutrients and vitamins from food. There may be a select few that you may not be getting otherwise. So maybe one, two, three, not, a half a cup full, which is makes me think that he's actually full of shit with knowing about health. Clearly, if you're popping Adderall at the rate he does, he's not health driven whatsoever. He's a drug addict.
Right, right. You're absolutely right. All right. So the last thing I wanted to bring up is, he's always been about AI. Like AI is the future of everything. He uses ACAT, which uses AI, which basically stands for artificial intelligence. Everybody's pushing that now, including him. But then he posts this and he says, "F AI, it's the devil." So what are your thoughts on that? Because I feel like he's probably talked about AI to you too and how that's what he uses. And it's the answer to everything anymore, it seems like.
Yeah, it's the lazy way out. The way I kind of thought about that when I once saw his post, and then him harping on AI is, it's clear that he doesn't work very hard for his clients. Otherwise, that's a different conversation. It seems like he's using AI to optimize, with his words. What's funny enough is he's told me the more he disputes he's done with AI, the smarter it gets. Well, there's a big difference between AI and machine learning. Machine learning has been around for a very long time. I'd imagine the bureaus have a lot of machine learning because they analyze disputes coming in and how to be more efficient. That's very different from artificial intelligence. So, there's certainly some questions to be asked there. That doesn't make any sense.
Right, right. Yeah, like I said, the whole AI thing has literally blown up recently. I mean, they've been talking about it for a while, but there's literally people that can create a freaking movie using AI. They're even creating their own apps for their businesses with AI. But people use it because it's easy, speeds things up, and makes everything easy. Not everybody's going to sit down and print out a credit report from annual credit report that's 105 pages long, one from Equifax that's 150 pages long, and one from Experian that's 200 pages long, and go page by page across all three like I do, and like everybody else that works for me does, to try to find those violations and those errors. They're just not going to do it. The person could take that's using AI. So I'll use Prodigy Surge as one. That's a Metro 2 compliance based software that disputes things using Metro 2. You can literally do a person's letters in 5 minutes, start to finish. Sometimes it takes an hour and a half just to read those reports. And that's if it's not as long as what I just said. So then you got to go in there and look at it on the computer with a Word document open beside it so you can actually type up a custom dispute. Now, he talks about custom disputes all the time. So does a lot of other people on YouTube. But if AI is doing it for you, okay, so it may be creating a different dispute every time, but that AI doesn't know what I know. And I know that probably sounds weird. I'm not saying that it won't eventually in the future, know more than me and everybody else. But until it's been used enough, nobody knows. I mean, I've literally generated some letters and some new AI stuff that's out, and the letters don't even make sense. They make absolutely no sense. And people are using it because it's free and they're not getting any results. But the future is AI. I mean, they're even putting it on phones now.
Well, what's interesting about that is, much like you said, it's if you like a computer, when anyone uses that, what the results you get from, let's say, a search that you're doing are just as good as the information you're putting into it. And if the information that AI is utilizing is not sufficient, and I'm not a credit repair expert by any means, so just speaking here, if the information or intelligence that is being put into the AI is subpar, well, you could expect the same out of it. I mean, it just common sense. It goes without saying.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so that's really all I had to go over for this interview. But I will go ahead and tell y'all part three is going to be the best one yet. Not just because it's going to be done by David Stanley, but because we have a lot more to talk about and discuss. Do you have anything that you want to add to the video, Edward?
Yes, there's one thing that you and I are privy to when we first started working together was it's a testament to how, at least in this respect, what I'm about to mention is how Andrew, Andre, whatever he calls himself, does not know pretty much anything relatively useful about credit repair. That's the voicemail recording that I sent to you, where he explicitly stated, "Hey, I'm going to make sure f up your credit report to where nothing comes off for 7 years." And by the way, that's completely legal. Soon as I sent that to you, I remember, if I recall correctly, you're trying to hold back from laughing because of how just blatantly stupid that was, because it's very illegal, according to what you said. I just saw the viewers now that's the type of stuff he says. He thinks in his mind, if he says it's not illegal, then it's not. Like, for some reason, he makes all the laws. That's really all I have to say about that.
Right, right. No, 100%. It's like he's right about everything and everybody's just wrong. And I'll be the first to tell you, I don't know more about credit repair than everybody else. But I will tell you this, he's big on, well, I've been in the industry for this long, he's only been in it for this long. That means nothing. I have a guy that's been doing it for over 20 years. If he gets a really, really tough file, he reaches out to me. Of all people, somebody that's been doing it for over 20 years reaches out to little old David. But the difference is me and my team, we're constantly studying this stuff. I mean, the FCRA, the FDCPA, the same stuff he talks about. Of course, you can bring that stuff up. You can read stuff online and make a video about it. But can you if somebody asks you something off the rip and you're like me and you are just sitting here and not in front of a computer, can you actually answer it? I think the answer for him would be no. Can you ask me a question and I not know the answer? Of course. But I feel like with him, he's not going to know anything without his AI giving him some sort of answer of what to do. But I do appreciate you hopping on this call and doing part two with me. I know we kind of planned on doing it a little further out, but in all honesty, I just want to get this out there to as many people as I can to warn them. This video in no way is me trying to pick on him. I want to warn people so they don't get scammed out of money like you did. $600 to some people ain't much money. Me personally, that's a lot of money. But most of the people he's scamming, they're paying a lot more than $600. They're paying 1,500, 2,000. He claims people pay him 10 and 20,000. And if that's the case, those people need to get their head checked with him. They can go to the doctor together because that's just crazy. But he has some good marketing there. I'll give him that. But I highly doubt anybody's watching his YouTube channel and saying, wow, here's a guy that's got 10 years of experience doing credit repair, giving dating advice, and he's in a country where he don't date anybody, he doesn't have a girlfriend, and he's paying for women. So, yeah, there's that. But yeah, if you don't have anything else to say, we'll end it at that. I'll try to get this posted at some point tomorrow. What's today? Wednesday? Is it Wednesday night? So yeah,
Yes,
I'll
sir.
try to premiere this either Thursday night or Thursday during the day. I'm not sure, but again, Edward, I appreciate you hopping on here. The part three, again, three, not two. Sound like Andre now. Don't know how to count or spell. But part three will be the best one. Again, Stanley's way better at doing these interviews than mine. This is literally the first one that I've ever done. So hopefully it turns out okay. But if y'all have any questions, leave them in the comments. Hope y'all have a great night.